With a toddler in tow, using a buggy or a pushchair could make all the difference between a 5 and a 30-minute walk to the shops, couldn't it? You're just like, right, do I make them walk and we stop at every leaf and at every twig and at everything that moves on the way, and we get there and get back and remember the feeling. Yeah, exactly. Or do you just think, right, get in the buggy, we'll get there, get back, and we can carry on with our lives?
Yeah.
The question is, how old is too old for a child to still be in a pushchair?
I was a young parent, so I've got a 20-year-old daughter, so I looked really young, and I look back at pictures of myself, and I look like a baby.
Yeah.
But lots of people gave me advice, and I just found it really annoying. And advice, they told me what to do. And someone told me, get your daughter out of a pushchair. And I just thought, what do you know
as you were just walking
daughter?
down the street?
She's 3.
Complete stranger?
Yeah, really annoying.
Well,
and then they were gone. I couldn't reply. And I found that really annoying. But I had that throughout being a father when my kids were young.
Why was she still in a buggy at 3 years old then?
Because it was easy, because she wanted to pick up every leaf.
There you go. Well, two
junction.
ladies who are here to debate this topic with differing views. Katrina Hodge, who pushes her, is that right, your 6- and 4-year-olds in buggies. Alongside Liat Hughes Joshi, you've written 5 books on parenting, and you say that children should be out of a pushchair as soon as they can walk. So I'm going to give Katrina you first out of the pushchair with your argument. What is it? Why have you got your kids in pushchairs when they're older and can walk?
My 6-year-old, that's just a case of we went to Disneyland Paris. It's a really long day. They're up at 7 o'clock in the morning. They go to bed really late at night, and it was just a case of that particular holiday. I wouldn't take her on days out.
No.
But my younger one, she's nearly 4. She's quite small for her age. And on long days out, it's not lazy parenting on my part. It's thinking about the fact that she does still take naps on an afternoon, so it's thinking about her routine. If you take them out of that routine, it's a knock-on effect the next day that you've got a ratty child, where it's just easier. I don't have her in the buggy all day on a day out. She walks along, but if she's starting to get tired, hop in the buggy.
And do you feel that people sometimes judge you for that?
Well, I think parents out there judge other parents regardless. But do you know what? If you want to have your child out of a buggy at 2, great. If I want to have my child in a buggy at 4, it's my choice as a parent to make that decision, and we should be less judgmental.
I mean, most people would say 6 years old, even when you're in Disneyland. I mean, that's quite old,
well,
isn't it?
do you know what? I went on a Facebook group, and all the mums on there were going nuts and going, by the way, if you have a 5- or 6-year-old, take a buggy. And I thought, at the time I was thinking, oh, do I, don't I? I'm so glad I did, because it was the best thing I did, because we didn't have her in there all day, but when you're in queues, it's hot, they're tired, they're ratty, it just gave them that downtime.
So, Leah, you're just being overly judgmental, and what business is it of yours anyway?
Well, look, these legs are made for walking, and once a child is able to walk, they're not going to build stamina and endurance if they are able to say, Mummy, Daddy, I'm tired, and a buggy gets rolled out every time they moan.
They don't have stamina and endurance.
They're not going to build stamina and endurance if every time they do start moaning about getting a little bit tired, they get a buggy to sit in.
So what do you do on a day out if your child gets tired? Do you end up carrying them if they're really shattered?
When my son was that sort of age, I would factor that into the day out.
So you wouldn't go on days out?
No, I'm not saying I wouldn't go on days out, of course not. But I'd factor it in, and I'd make sure that every couple of hours we went for a little break, because that's part of being a parent. To me, there's going to be inconveniences to me of having small children.
But if you have 2 children of different ages, one might be tired,
anyway.
one might be not. So what, do you go back to the hotel and have one running around while one's tired? It's a convenience thing,
but
that one can lie down and have a
isn't
nap.
it, really?
No, it's for them as well, because they get that rest time.
And why isn't the parents' convenience important in this? Why isn't the fact that, you know, if you're busy, you're trying to... It's not even just on days out. If you're just trying to get round the supermarket, you're trying to do something...
If your child's ill, you might need to throw them in.
So what is wrong, Liat, with a parent doing what's easiest for them? Because they might be less stressful.
But where do you draw the line? It's going to be easier still when they're 5 or 6 to push them around.
Well, where do you draw
It's
the
not
line?
good for kids, actually, to be in a pushchair too long. I'm not
What
for a
you've got to
minute
take
saying
into
that
account,
little
though,
children
is
who
invisible
dawdle.
disabilities as well.
I'm
that there
totally
could be
taking that into account.
Yeah.
You can't always see it, and I'm not for a minute saying...
some people are judging parents and going, oh, my God, there's a 5-year-old,
what
they
you
could have a heart
can't do
condition.
is look at a child and assume that there's nothing wrong with them, because we don't know that there's nothing wrong with them.
Let's take disabilities out of it.
Put that aside.
What age is the age where they should come out
It
of
does
pushchair?
vary a little bit, but I would like to see kids being encouraged to walk at least some of the time to build up that stamina and to burn a few calories as well.
Yeah,
We've
and
got
I'm not
lots of
saying that
kids who are
children should always
overweight.
be in a buggy, it's choosing.
But maybe part of the reason why there's lots of kids who are overweight is because we've extended the use of buggies and pushchairs so much longer than years ago. And once they're 2, they should be starting to get used to walking, and you transition, build up over a few months or a year from when they're able to walk, when they're 18 months or 2, to when they're 3, to getting rid of the buggy. And you might start with them just walking 5 or 10 minutes at a time, but you work upwards from there.
Well, when you're in a rush, those 5 or 10 minutes could be reduced to 2, and you could get back and do your other jobs. But I appreciate both of your points. Thank you very much for coming in.